Offsetius.
Mrs. Offsetius. Oh my god, man. Hold on, I'm gonna let you get your shout outs off, but you gotta let Drizzy get this one
Oh,
off.
go ahead, go ahead.
Hey, I told him.
I said I was gonna write this whole thing. Talking about my plane.
I told y'all.
Look
I
at that
said I
shit.
was gonna. I said I was gonna let y'all live. I said I was gonna let y'all live. I wasn't gonna talk about the plane. But look, goddamn, look at the plane.
Look at that shit. Don't do that, motherfucker.
Hey, look at the plane. Do you got a plane? I don't think you got a plane.
I ain't got no plane. Fit for Kings is not on the plane. Yeah.
Shit, look at the plane.
Look at the plane.
You know what I'm saying, but damn.
That's crazy.
Look at the plane.
That's fucking nuts.
Oh my god, what up chat? What up chat? Hold on real quick. I gotta let Queen Cardi get a little bit of
Bro,
shine
and
here.
then he said pay stubs from Lucy and Grange. Think about those. Think about those pay stubs. That's a big ass pay stub.
Yeah, I can't understand it.
Bitch.
Hold on.
Get to it. Get to the business.
We gonna get to it.
Type
She
shit
said-
that leave you trending. Hey,
She said
that
she
shit
rolling with the Kelly.
hard. Hey, that shit's so hard, bro. That shit's
Man.
so hard, bro. This the type of shit that get your bitch hit. This the type of shit that leave you trending. Or gotcha, or some shit.
Hey,
But dog,
shout
that
out to
shit
Cardi.
hard.
Shout out to Migos.
Yes,
This Culture 3, I wasn't expecting it, but this shit is hard.
bro.
I'm not a Migos fan at all, but this shit right here is hard. Pause, if
Load up that
necessary.
Drake. Come on, man. Stop playing. With
Listen, I don't gotta say nothing else, but look at the plane.
Look at that.
look, Look at the plane.
And the
That's
text
gonna be my
from
new-
Lucy and Grange.
That's gonna be my new shit. Like people start talking about some. I'm like, Cham, look
The
at the
fact
plane.
that he said, I told myself I was gonna go this whole verse without mentioning the plane, but look at that motherfucker
Yeah.
sitting right there, like
It seemed like look like y'all niggas didn't forgot.
that's crazy as fuck.
Oh shit, man. What up? What's up, chat? We got P in the chat. Jimmy Bach, usual suspects.
Yo.
Flying low. Yeah, we drinking root beer, man.
The young boy song too. That sample is crazy.
I can't remember which one that is, but I
The
probably
very
like it.
last, the very last song, and it's the dum 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 dum
Oh,
dum dum
okay,
dum.
yeah, yeah.
That's the what song is that? That's 50. That's 50 Cent. But I don't know. I forgot. Is that bitch get in my car? Bitch get in my car. Ain't got no pickup lines. I stay on the grind. I tell a hoe all the
Yeah, that's
time.
it.
Bitch get
That's
in
it.
my car. Yeah, that's what I thought about. Hey, that's that shit. I remember riding around North Side. You know what I'm saying? Subwoofers slapping my little
Oh,
10-year-old
hold on,
noggin.
Jew reminiscing right now. Hold on.
Come on, man. 50 Cent rolling through impoverished neighborhoods. You know how it go.
Oh, of course, man. Of course. But without further ado, we've gone on long enough. But hey, welcome to this podcast. It's canceled episode 27. I am Loaded Clips, your host, joined by my co-host Jew.
Yo,
Jew the Jit,
yo,
Florida Jew.
yo.
You know, whatever you wanna call him. You know, he's here with me.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, man. Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for listening. Don't forget to subscribe to us on all platforms: YouTube, Spotify, Apple. You know, hit the subscribe, like button, all that good shit. We also got the Cash App, which if you feel like supporting us, definitely feel free. But of course, y'all being here and listening is enough, so we appreciate you regardless. This week will be a continuation of last week a little bit. If y'all listened last week, we kind of did like a little sit-down interview style type thing where Jew interviewed me. And we wanted to do that to kind of, I guess kind of resetting so y'all could kind of get to know us as people a little bit better.
Yep.
So this week, though, is my turn.
Here we go. Here this nigga go already.
Nah, but I will be asking the questions this week. Jew will be in the hot seat. It's not really a hot seat. I'm just. Nah, we're just going. Just talk, ask some questions. Just get to know him a little bit better, and yeah, that's really it. So, how are you? First of all,
I'm all right, man. How you doing? I'm all right, bro.
I'm good.
I'm chilling.
I'm good. But it's not really about me today. It's really about you. So
You're right.
how are you? Are you feeling well? Is life good? Is life
yeah.
treating you right? You feeling up, down in spirits?
Let's see. Let's be transparent today.
Yeah. No, I want you to think about it. I want you to answer it for real.
Let's see. I've been better.
Okay.
I can put it like that. I'm good though. Life's good. I'm breathing. I'm here. I'm kicking shit. I took a lovely shower today. Listened to some great music. So vibes are up. Smoke some weed. My body pause. But
That'll do it.
that's just how I give it up, bro. I be chilling. So I'm good. I'm good.
do
I
it.
appreciate it. I appreciate you for asking. Cause
Yeah,
mental health, it's important.
absolutely.
Was that last month, mental health month? It's Pride month this month. Never mind.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a different month. I can't
okay.
keep up with the
It's okay.
months,
We can keep
but
going.
Shout out to Mental Health Month.
Correct.
Oh man. But so tell me about yourself. Where you from? Your early life. What do you like to do for fun? No, but on a serious note, we kind of talk about it a little bit, but like, just kind of give a little background as to like where you come from, like where you're from, where you grew up, what's close to you, stuff like that.
Nah, I made a promise I wasn't gonna do this ignorant, so I'm not gonna do this ignorant.
I mean, it could be a little ignorant.
Hey, shout out! Wait, real quick. Shout out to Amber. Shout out to Amber in the chat. She said all I saw was this thumbnail on my YouTube notifications. That pose is nasty. You right, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know why I did that. Hey, I got the same polo shirt Maul had on.
It was on the gram. It was on the gram.
On Jew's gram. The Jew gram.
Jew's gram.
Fucking all right. So you asked for a brief overview, correct? Overview.
Yeah, just like where you come from, your city,
Born and
early
raised.
upbringing.
Born and raised in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Yeah, it's about, I don't know, I'm not good with time, so I'm gonna say like 2 hours away from Chicago north.
Okay. Damn, I know it was that close. Okay.
Yeah, it's mad close. Like you could drive there on like a Friday and just kick it. But let me take that back because traffic be fucking up. But anyway, yeah, you know, fucking Milwaukee is cool or whatever. It's like the third most segregated city in the entire country. So I've experienced a lot of shit just because of that. I'm like Logic. I'm half black. I'm half white. Um, and I've lived some very interesting times because of that. I think I've gotten myself into some very interesting situations. So it's granted me a very unique perspective on life and all of that type of thing. So yeah, I'm just a Milwaukee baby, man. I'm a North Side kid. I'm fucking. I went to Samuel Morris Middle School, Rufus King High School. Like I'm a regular nigga. Then I went to the University of Wisconsin Milwaukee for like 1 year. Dropped out, got kicked out because of like not going to class and shit because it just was not my body.
I feel that.
I spent a lot of time like in the studio that they had in the dorms I was staying in and stuff like that.
They had a studio there.
Yep.
That's dope.
It was really intended for the music students. I was a finance major, and I was in there. We would literally go outside, smoke blunts, come back inside, go right into the studio, and we would just be in there basically from like 10 in the morning to like 7 a.m. the next day. And music students would have to like record shit for their projects and shit, and we would just be in there rapping nonsense. Fucking at 3 a.m.
Niggas is waiting in the lobby like, fam, I got homework.
Yeah, no, dead ass. Dead ass. And I'm in there like, I don't care about your fucking homework. I'm not doing that shit.
Yeah, you wonder why they kicked your ass out.
I mean, but that was because I was not going to class. I was in there for 15 hours.
Oh my god.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, I'm just fucking with you.
But yeah, so I guess to really, give a brief overview, I'm just that, man. I grew up on the north side of Milwaukee. That's it, man. I've seen a little bit of everything. I know a little bit of everybody, shit like that. The city is so segregated, so it's hard to like describe it to other people. You have to really like go there or be in a place that's similar to really understand like what I'm talking about.
Well, yeah, I wanted to ask you a little bit more about that because I didn't know that until you just said that just now. You said it's the third most segregated place in the country. So what is
the last time I checked the stat? Yeah.
So from your perspective, right? Like growing up, because you're biracial, you have a white and a black parent, correct?
Yes, my father is black and my mama is white. Yes.
So is that a strange dynamic? Like being in that city, like I'm not just in general, but
No,
specifically
being
being
in that city,
in that city.
Yeah.
Like what is that like? Does that cause issues for you? I know you say you've been in some situations, but like
yes and no. So here's how I'm gonna describe it. My
without
mom-
going too deep,
No, fuck it.
you
So
could-
that's another promise I had to make to somebody was that I wouldn't divulge
let's
too
go.
much because I'm very open. If anybody out there doesn't really know, if there's ever anything you want to know about me or like ask me, I'm very open. Like I'll tell you. Like I really don't care. But anyway, to answer the question, yeah, it is a weird dynamic because so the north side of Milwaukee is mostly black people. Might be some smaller Asian communities mixed in. It's middle to low class, basically low income. And then the west side, more black people. East side is majority white. South side is majority Hispanic. So like the further towards Chicago you go, the more Hispanic it gets until you get to actual like Chicago. Then it's Chicago. But then it's so Milwaukee itself is surrounded by a bunch of fucking suburbs. So the reason, like for instance, like when we vote, right, for like national elections, when the Trump shit was going on, everybody in the inner city, so Madison, which is another college town, the University of Wisconsin, the Badgers, that's Madison. That's about an hour 45-ish north.
that's like in the city,
What?
like Milwaukee you're talking about.
It's like a
okay.
city. It's like an inner city type.
Okay,
type
yeah,
beat.
okay, like a college town.
I wouldn't say like a college town. Not. That's more like the east side of Milwaukee by all the white people and the business and all of that good shit. The Pfizer is down there where the Bucks play and all of that shit. The Brewers, they play. The Brewers don't necessarily play downtown, but they're right before you get to downtown. so they're
Got
like
you.
real close. But my mama is from one of the suburbs that is on the outside of Milwaukee. Like I said, it's southeastern Wisconsin, so we're right on the lake, right on Lake Michigan, and it's like the bottom left. Everything around it is a majority white suburb. Like I said, unless you go south, when you start to go towards Chicago, it's a lot of Hispanics. But like I said, growing up in that is crazy because my mom's family is from the suburbs, my dad's family is from the inner city. So it's like the clashing of those two worlds. It's constant whether I'm staying with my dad or whether I'm staying with my grandparents. You know what I mean? So it's always been a weird dynamic. And then going to school in the inner city, you know what I mean, having to adapt to that when you have a lot of family that's not really from the inner city, especially when you're young and you're not really exposed to a lot of that shit.
Okay. It's definitely a clash of lifestyles. I would say so.
Correct.
I can relate to that a little bit, but yeah, I can only imagine. I'll say that I can only imagine what that's daily life is like, especially going to school and stuff like that.
Let me just
Excuse me.
let me answer this shit.
Answer what?
Let me answer some of these questions. So where are the bars? My bars is on every platform. Jew Graham on every platform. That's Ju as in Jew, and then Graham, nigga, and then how north, like northwest, probably like
Fucking P.
border. Yeah, exactly. P is out here wilding. I would say like I don't know how to describe it. If you're from the city, you know what I'm talking about. But like border of damn near Butler and Menominee, or not Menominee Falls. I'm sorry. What the fuck? I ain't been home in a minute. Wauwatosa. So I'm right by Tulsa and fucking Butler, but I'm in Milwaukee still. I'm on the border of all of that shit, but I'm like super north. But I grew up on the hundreds of like Mill Road and shit like that on the northwest side. If people know where that is, then they know where that is. But
If you know, you know. And that's
correct.
it.
But that's and then P, no, nigga. My mama this nigga here, bro. So your pops went and tried to get a little rich one from the suburbs, and mom's like bad boys, respectfully. So I'm gonna say yes and no. My mom really didn't fuck with the vibe in the suburbs. She was made fun of because she spent a lot of time in Milwaukee because I had family that lived in the inner city. Her actual family, like her grandmother and shit, like my great grandmother lived in Milwaukee in the city, before all of the, I don't know what you want to call it, when white people move out and black people move in, gentrification, I guess, but that's the opposite. It's reverse.
Yeah, that's the opposite. Yeah.
Reverse.
But
So-
I get what you're saying. But yeah.
So, yeah, she spent a lot of time in the city. The white girls and white dudes in the suburbs, they didn't fuck with that. They used to make fun of her and shit like that, call her broke and grimy, and even though she lived out there, amongst them, like they still talk shit. And my dad lived up there with with his family or whatever, and he used to go jogging through the neighborhood, and he saw my mama, and then that's how they kind of got together. But that was damn. Shout out to them.
For a morning stroll.
27. Let's take a modern day stroll, nigga. Hey, pops do that shit. He is the culture. Shout out to my pops. But yeah, that's it's their 27th year together this year. So shout out to them.
Hey, 27th on episode 27. Come on, man. Who could set it up more perfect than that? But shout out to them. But so you was answering the question of the bars. Where the bar is at. So let's talk about the bars. Music. You make music.
I do.
Is that correct? Is that correct, Sir Graham?
I'll be writing.
You be writing? Okay.
I'll be writing. Yeah, bro. I can't say I put out music if I make music if I don't push it out, right?
We're gonna get to that a little bit later.
Yeah, go ahead.
But you be writing. So
I do music, yes.
Well, this is a two-part question. So one, how long have you been writing, making music, and what kind of pushed you over the edge to just like do it? Like, was it a particular event, or was it just like a gradual, appreciation that kind of just made you?
Nigga, you.
Me.
I'll what do you call it? I'll expound. So
Wait a second.
Yeah, nigga. You said I'm on the hot seat, but now I'm getting comfortable. See, you fucked
This
up.
nigga put the Uno reverse out. What?
No,
Oh
so
my god.
I've been writing for a long time, bro. I've been writing since I was probably like 11, 11, 12 years old, middle school. I used to. So I guess it's interesting, right? My relationship in music is super deep. A lot of people love music, obviously, but people who create music tend to have a very interesting relationship. Mine comes from me and my dad. I'm real close to my father, and growing up, like I grew up in a hip hop household, like Tupac, Big, anything, Jay, Locks, literally all hip hop all the time. DMX, rest in peace. A million artists that I could sit here and go down the list of, but my father instilled that in me when I was real young. So coming from such a diverse music background in terms of like having shit played all day, every day, loud as fuck, I grew up on like my favorite shit was like Nelly. That was my shit. He was a Midwest cat. He had the, that's how I started liking the Rams. I got the Ram tat on my
Nelly is that
hand.
nigga right there.
You know what I'm saying? All of that shit, country grammar, because I related to it. I guess I really didn't think about it until recently, but I related to it because that's what I was used to: farms and old schools and all of that kind of shit.
I think that's what type of music we all naturally gravitate to. Like just what we relate to, whether consciously or unconsciously.
Right.
So
So I started writing when I was like able to actually like write. You know what I'm saying? I used to get real good grades in English and shit like that in middle school. I went to a gifted and talented middle school, so um, my English teacher actually was like when I was in seventh grade. I was like 12 or something like that, and my English teacher was like, I would like for you to join a debate team. Um, and I guess niggas would know this because I'm long winded and I like to talk and shit. But she was like, you are real good at like writing. Your writing is real like you're very concise. You're to the point. It's very like it's good, you know, for lack of a better phrase. And that was when I kind of realized I had something. So I would write just like on my free time and shit. You know how kids read books or they fucking go ride bikes and shit. I would just write sometimes. I would just write poetry or uh, all kinds of shit. I would I would literally write like bullshit raps and shit like that. But it really didn't start until I was in high school. I didn't make my first song until I was probably 15. I was a sophomore. I had just started smoking weed for real. Um, my guy Devlin, shout out to my nigga Devlin, DJ Dev, I believe, is what he
TJ
goes is
Dev.
what he goes by nowadays. Super cool white kid. Race doesn't matter, but that's just who he was. He was a preppy white kid. Went to my high school. Nigga used to make beats and shit in his free time. And I went over to his crib. We smoked. Went into his little room or whatever. And I remember he was playing some beats, and I was like, oh shit, like this. He actually has like talent. This is like the first time I'm really like in a what I would consider a creative space. Like I would smoke weed and freestyle and shit when I was with my
Right, but you weren't trying to make anything.
no,
You
no,
right,
I
you were
was
just having fun.
yeah, I was just doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like literally I got known to some degree, right, at my high school as being a nigga that could rap. So like niggas would come up to me at school and be like freestyle. And I'll be like, no, like, like, like I don't. You got? Am I like? Nigga, I'm in between third and fourth period. I don't have time to be sitting here rapping and
Right.
freestyling. But it was like on the weekends though. You catch me, you know, on the weekend. You know, when I get turned up and shit. When I was in high school, I was a wild boy on the weekend. I would party. I wasn't afraid. I wasn't afraid to turn up, boy. Even in college,
You gotta get a little wild.
nah, but I was wild though. Like I was willing to do a lot of shit just to have fun, and it was just like, yeah, it was a wild time. But that's when I really started writing for real, like writing in notebooks and creating actual songs and shit like that. I would write in my little iPad or my little iPod Touch and shit, be in school and class, writing different shit, and then I would make music with him on the weekends. Pretty much, we made like 3 or 4 songs, I think.
That iPod Touch changed my life.
It's fact.
Shout out Steve Jobs.
Very true. Very true.
Okay, so
Answer some of the questions. I'm not a Christian rapper. I'm not about to freestyle unless y'all want me to.
oh, my man said he said be careful getting high and going into strangers' rooms. It's very
I
dangerous.
mean, he was my good friend, so it wasn't like it was a stranger.
That
This
was
is
an interesting point of view there. But
yeah, no,
I
it
appreciate
wasn't
your concern.
dead ass. Thank you. But no, I was definitely like it was a good friend of mine, and we was kicking it. This is like I said, we had first started smoking weed together. You know how high school kids are, mischievous and all of that.
Yeah, yeah, sneaking behind the dumpster and shit.
Vibes, vibes.
All right, but past that though, so I get your middle school, high school life. You kind of just messing around with Dev, but as far as like seriously putting out your first like song or single or project, whatever you want to call it, like when was that and what was that like for you? Like like what I was saying, like what pushed you
To really
to be
go,
like, you
to
know
go
what,
harder.
I'm gonna do this.
I got you. So I would probably say this is oh man. Like I said, I made probably 3 bullshit songs in high school. In college, like I said, we spent a lot of time in that studio that was on campus. Um, and we made probably like a dozen or so songs. Um, none of which are very good. But just knowing that I was able to have like a presence, right? Like I don't know, like whenever we did that shit, it was always like I stood out. Um, my guy Dev, he used to rap back in the day, on those songs or whatever that we had, and he was good. But you could tell he was just like a white kid that was rapping, so it sounded weird. And I had the same thing where like I'm playing with these flows and I really don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But by the time I got out of college, I knew that like because I had started working a job. That's probably what did it. I was at a
That'll
dead
do
end
it.
job. I felt like I was stuck at my job, and so every single day at that job, I was working 12-hour shifts, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., like 60 hours a week or whatever. I would be in there writing all day, every day, as much as I possibly could. I wrote all kinds of shit. That's when I got into battle rap for the first time, like heavy. Um, I started listening to as much music as I possibly could on my free time. Like that was probably when I realized I could do that shit. And then I put out a song after maybe 2 years of doing that, just writing. I would say because I wasn't in a position to really. I was living with a woman and it was like I was young as fuck, so it was like hard. It was hard to do all of that. I didn't get a chance to do that until I moved back home and had my own studio and shit like that.
Okay, okay.
So that
So
was probably
this
like
wasn't. Yeah, this wasn't that
26.
long ago.
No, this is probably within the last 5, 6 years.
Yeah, that seems to be a common thing amongst like this generation, where it's like you kind of just hit a spot where it's just like something kind of clicks, and it usually does have something to do with the job. Because I felt like that also for a good amount of time, like at my job. I think I talked about it on here actually, where it's just like you start doing something that you don't want to do, and then that kind of just opens your eyes up to what you actually want to pursue, and then it kind of just it forces you to get the wheels rolling, So, but you got to keep the wheels rolling too.
Correct.
So put the music out.
No, so what I will say is this, right? I will say thank you, right? Because when you first asked me this question, I said you. And the biggest reason that I would say that I put out any music at all is because I found a group of people that really truly support me. Right now, Milwaukee is the music scene is. I mean, I love my city, and I love our music. I'm a north, like I said, I'm a North Side baby. I love Milwaukee music. I was twanging and banging. If y'all know what that is, then y'all know what that is. If you don't, y'all don't. But that was like fucking 2007, 2008 Milwaukee dance scene music. Like we really put support behind our sound and like the people that are really big, but it's hard to get that support. Like you have to be big in order to get that stamp from everybody. Like the biggest rapper out of Milwaukee right now is probably Lil Chicken, or Big Chicken. I don't know what the fuck he go by now. Chicken P. The Mari Boys are big. They've been big. But the biggest problem with a lot of Milwaukee artists is they go to jail or, they end up, unfortunately, they end up getting murdered or they die.
Yeah.
But that's kind of why, like, I moved because the city is mad dangerous, and it's very difficult if you're different from the sound of the city to get a name. I think a fellow like alumni or whatever the fuck you call him, a nigga I graduated high school with in my class that I was somewhat fly with, a nigga named Taj Stacks or whatever the fuck. He had songs that was playing on the radio and all of this other shit. He had a song that was playing for like the Bucks during the playoffs and shit in the arenas
Damn.
and shit for the like on Instagram for their promos and shit like that. Shout outs to my nigga to Stacks, the whole movement that they got over there. But yeah, they literally went to the same high school as me. A bunch of them niggas. Then they all make music and they do whatever the fuck they do. So shout out to them. They do their thing. But yeah, that's kind of like what inspired me to do the same thing as well. Like not really like oh I watch them and I see what they doing, but we was also doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I was also making music in high school. Like I'm pretty sure he
Yeah.
was writing and things of that nature. Cause I went to like a video shoot of his in college, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And that shit was fun. Like it was a good time and everything. But he makes once again, he's against the grain of the city's music in terms of sound. So it's different. The Milwaukee music sound is like Detroit for people who don't know. It's very much the same.
Very different. Very different than the norm. I'm saying. Okay, I got you.
The urge to be different forced me to put out my music, man. That's what I'll say.
Okay.
I wanted to
Gotta be
stand out. I want to be the best rapper ever from my city, from my area, from my region. Period. I don't have time for like trying to please the local people because I'm looking for the world. Like I'm looking bigger. Like I really have a vision when it comes to music, and I don't give a fuck about what it takes. You feel me? Like some people they want to take baby steps and they want to do shows. This that shit too.
I'm trying to give you your flowers.
You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that shit. So like I said, my city has a very distinct sound, but I want the city to be glorified for what it's worth, which is the creativity that comes out of there every single day. It's bigger than just that. And people don't get fucking support, and that shit like really it bothers me because I grew up with mad talented people that just they end up getting stuck at a job, or they end up like in the streets doing shit that they don't have no business doing, or they end up getting into other felonious activities and shit like that. But it is what it is. You can't tell people how to live their life. But I know that like a lot of cities that's like Milwaukee around the country, there's a lot of talent that come out of those places. That's part of the reason why I started Fit for Kings. Like I have a vision that's way bigger than just the city, and it's mad segregated. Like I want to end all of that shit. I'm not okay with any of that shit. Growing up seeing both sides of the spectrum, that's what made me put out music. It's like there's nobody doing what I have planned for the city. You feel me? Like that's really all I can say about it. But go ahead. You can answer that.
Nah. I'm trying to let you get everything out because I look nothing but respect for that vision. I can get behind that 100% in any way, shape, or form. So I think anybody who is trying to do something to bring light or positivity in any type of way to your city or whatever it may be, then look, that's just the way to go, man. And if you were wondering, this is Lil Ju Graham playing in the background. I'm gonna let it rock out for a little bit.
Yeah, the vibe, man. It's out everywhere.
Yeah, I forgot who it was. He asked where the music was. This is the music. It's on the DSPs. Ju Graham.
It's everywhere. High as hell. It's out everywhere, bro. YouTube, Spotify, Apple. But like, I think I was telling the pod a couple episodes ago, I got new shit coming out very, 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 very soon. I'm not done. I just moved out the city, so I had to get adjusted and comfortable. And like I told him earlier, I've been doing better mentally and shit like that. So mixing all of that with a rollout, kind of hard. It's kind of hard, but like I said, my mission is so great, man. I gotta persevere. Dead ass. I don't know. Like I'm joking and shit, but I'm for real. Like I just
no. I mean, jokes aside, like I want that for you, and I want you to continue doing that. That's why I want to see that more from you. I want to see you really putting your best foot forward and just letting people see what you got to say, because I think you got a lot to say. So
I appreciate that, bro.
And that's that, man. No problem.
I appreciate the
For those of you watching on YouTube, the audio for the music you probably don't hear that clear, but make sure to listen to us on the streaming platforms. Much better audio,
Very true.
clearer sound and everything. So again, just a little plug for that. Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcast, SoundCloud. Catch us on there. Audio is much more crisp and clear. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that in there. But
It's true.
yeah, we can get back into it though because yeah, we're just talking a little bit about music though. Well, now let's change. Let's shift a little bit, just
Hey.
slightly.
Take us on the audio
So-
journey, Clips. Where would you
Well,
like
no,
to go?
still a little bit on music, but I want to look at it from a different angle, right? Because in just your personal life, you worked a job, you've been to school, you spend a lot of time writing and doing creative type stuff. Do you or do you feel like you ever were at a point where that interfered with your personal relationships or just daily life type shit?
Yeah.
And like in a negative or positive way. Why don't you share a little bit about that?
For sure. I think people. I think it's interesting, right? I think people when you first tell them like stuff like I'm saying like plans that I have or just visions or shit that I have in terms of like me and my music or any other thing that I want to do. In terms of goals that I might just speak on to somebody, that I really do that subconsciously. Like I just be verbalizing shit. Like how people be like, oh, you can't tell everybody your next move. I be doing
Right.
that shit just like because I be daydreaming and like I'll be talking to somebody and I just zone out and I'll be like, bro, I'm gonna do this, this, and this, and then I just got to do this, this, and this, and then I can do all of that. But I would say like. Yeah, for the better, I would say my relationships have been affected, right? A lot of times,
For the better. Okay. How
because
so?
the people in my life that I have in my life now genuinely support me. So, whereas when I was a little bit younger, I don't think the support was as genuine or was as abundant, and that made it a little bit harder. So yeah, earlier on, I would say yeah, but when you kind of get comfortable and accept that this is what you're doing, and you kind of walk with a certain kind of confidence in what you do, it really, you know what I mean? You don't really see it for having that kind of effect. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm going to do this whether or not anybody likes it. My mama could tell me that I shouldn't do it, but I'm going to do it anyway. That's